Hey Olivia, welcome and thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so delighted to have you here to have a conversation about your experience with executive coaching and, what you have taken away from it both professionally and personally. So before we get started, I'd love for you to introduce yourself to our audience, a little bit about you and the role that you're currently in.
Certainly. Thanks, Penny. It's just a joy to be here today to do this. My role, I'm a Senior Vice President. I head up talent management at CBRE, which is such a privilege. It's an absolute fantastic role. I get to support all our employee engagement efforts, the work that we do on succession planning, leadership development, coaching actually falls under my remit as well. And I have a wonderful team based across the globe. So I have team members everywhere from London to Singapore to Sydney, and currently I'm based here in the US.
Yeah, fabulous. What a huge role and such an exciting remit to be part of. Now, I'd love to start by exploring your experience of executive coaching. So you have worked with our founder and director, Vanessa Panayi, as your executive coach for over 5 years now. And I think a lot of people have the view that you work with an executive coach at the start of your career or perhaps as you're transitioning into roles, but you're so well established in your career. I'd love to understand, why did you decide to start working with a coach and what's your experience been?
Oh, it's been such a tremendous asset to me. And I would actually say I really want to dispel that myth around it being for people at the beginning of their career. Coaching can add value at any stage of your career, and certainly I've seen it right up as far as C-suite leaders engaging with coaches to really push, challenge and provoke them to be better. And I certainly know that's been my experience, absolutely. And when I look back at my history of being coached, I've had many different stages of my career. I've had coaching at a time where I've been thriving and very happy in a role, and I just needed support about what's my next move. I've used it to support me as I've relocated and had an experience in a different country with a different team and different cultural elements as well. And absolutely when I've had strategic projects or different ways in which I want to move my team or move my business, it has really been of benefit to me at all those different junctures of my professional time.
Fabulous. And you've shared that at every different stage of your career, you've lent on your executive coach to provide that support, that guidance. Tell me, if you were able to kind of bottle it down to three things, the three biggest takeaways for you, either professionally or personally, what have they been from working with an executive coach?
So I have to say, it is amazing working with a coach that can really just push you to places where you think you couldn't go. And when you don't have the answers, and how they can ask you the big, hairy questions that allow you to find your answer, your vision, or your path. And that is one thing that I have found with my coach, Vanessa, is that we have amazing rapport, great chemistry, but once we get down into those big questions that she asks around, well, what am I trying to solve? What direction do I need to go in? Certainly having someone that can really challenge and push you is certainly an amazing skill of a coach. And that's where I've grown and I've benefited the most in our time together.
Fabulous. Thank you for sharing. So you've shared that, an executive coach is someone who will challenge you, that will provoke you. My question is this: what advice would you give to somebody who was looking for an executive coach? They were going to work with someone for the first time. What should they be looking for? What's that measure of success when it comes to finding a coach for someone?
So certainly there is the aspect of having a coach that's got great credentials, great experience. There is this word that we often say is having great chemistry with them as well. So I really would encourage anyone, try and have a virtual coffee, try and have like a 15-20 minute catch up to see have you got a level of connection with that person. Now, I would say you can definitely dispel the fact that they need to be in the same industry as you or they need to have the same experience. I certainly have been in an environment where I've set up coaching relationships in my role where people have had different experiences, different aspects of their career that just adds richness to those conversations. And I do think having a coach, and I keep saying this word as well, like someone that is going to challenge you to think differently, that will ask you the big questions. And I know from my sessions when I've been the coachee in the seat where I've had Vanessa be the coach, having her ask the big hairy questions around why I can go in a certain direction or why can I not, has been truly valuable. So for me, that's a big aspect of strength. So I would also encourage people to be brave enough. Getting a coach is a fantastic asset in your career, whether you're thriving or whether you are at a point where you just need some additional support. It certainly has helped me in both aspects of my career and my profession.
Yeah, thank you so much, Olivia, and thank you for joining us today. I think it's been such a valuable conversation to share with people and dispel some of those myths around what coaching is and when you should tap into it in your career. But I think those last points around particularly finding someone that you have chemistry with, but most importantly, finding someone that's going to stretch you and push you out of your comfort zone when you are in that hot seat, because it is in those times of challenge that we grow the most, both personally and professionally. So thank you so much for joining me. I've just loved our conversation today.
Thank you, Penny. Such a delight. It was a joy. Thank you.